Hello folks, today we're going to be talking about the drawings for our glasses and what needs to be turned in the end here. So first sheet, like always, is going to be bill of materials. Make sure that down here in the title you have replaced one of these to say like sunglasses, something like that. And again, you should have part numbers, part balloons, shaded isometric, ideally 1:1 scale, but make it fit. If it's too big, you can shrink it. And then you should also have your bill of materials in the top right corner. Then remember, in order to create new sheets, we're going to open this up and we're going to press the new sheet button. Okay, so for sheet number 2, we are going to be looking at the frames themselves. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the important dimensions that are necessary for this process here. We need to know the overall width of the piece. We need to know the width of the bridge. We need to know the width of one of the sides. We need to know the height overall, and we need to know the thickness, not including the frame, or I'm sorry, the hinge from the front of the frame to the back of the frame. Again, I have a colored isometric in the top. Down below here, my scale is 1:1. This is 1/2 scale. Next, we need to talk about the detail drawings. So here, I've brought my frame back in again. But instead of looking at the front of my frame, I have selected to look at the back of my frame as my main piece. My scale is also 1/2, okay? So I'm going to show you guys today like how we create a detail drawing. So the details are going to show the details specifically. A detail drawing will show the details of any small object, typically, okay? We're going to increase the size of it so that we can dimension that a little bit easier. The small things that we're going to be highlighting throughout this project are the hinge details, both on the frame and on the temple. So I'll just create a new detail view, and I'll just kind of show you like what the process is as we go through that. So up top here, there's the detail view right here. You select the detail view, and then it basically asks like, what do we want to detail, right? And I'll just redo what is my B detail over here on this side of my piece. So I'm just going to select about where I want that detail to be. The bigger my circle is, the bigger my detail is going to be. I really only care about the hinge, so like that's plenty big. And then it will give me a detailed view of that information. Okay, so this is 1/2 scale, this is 1:1 scale. I really want this scale to be more closely related to like a 2:1. Okay, so let's drop our scale down to a 2:1, and we're going to click the checkbox. So, similar to this detail, which I'm just going to like scooch out of the way for me. When we go to move this detail, we want to find like a nice place for it. This looks pretty good. I want to turn my hidden lines on, so show hidden lines. Most hidden lines I haven't shown, you know, like they're too small over here, but over in your detail views, it's a great place to put things like your center lines and your hidden lines and all that good stuff. So here we can dimension, again, this is specific to like your hinges itself, like how thick the tabs are, how thick the gap is, and the width. So like, let's take a look at what I actually have here, and then we can work off of that. So let's bring this back in, and I'll just kind of show you. So I have a detail from, again, the back. This shows specifically how high my hinge points are and the gap in between my hinge points. And then I have another detail from the top that shows the overall radius and the radius of the center hole. Okay, so that sets me up for like the details on my frames itself. So I have detail A and detail B. Your letters could be different, but we should see a top zoomed in detail of your hinge and a side zoomed in detail, or like a front zoomed in detail of your hinge. In the next sheet, we're seeing details. I want to see only the inside of one of your two temples. I don't care if it's the left or the right, but I want the front view to show where the hinge is. So I show the length, the height, and the thickness of my temple. I have one detail that shows the height of my hinge, which again, the height here, 0.6067, should fit within the space between like here and here in my case, which is 0.067, so they're the same. Then in the top view, I have the C detail, which again shows me the outer diameter and the inner diameter of where the pin goes through. You only need the left or the right temple. Either one is fine. And then in sheet 5, you're going to show me your pin, okay, or your screw, whatever it is that you're using to connect. You're going to put your dimensions, center points. The scale on this is a 3:1. So if you don't have your scale written down here, please make sure that your scale is updated down here. And that is what I'm looking for throughout all of these drawings. All right, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go from there.